I have to talk to them about, because look, socialist programs are important, like the post office, like the police department, like the fire department, like your social security, like public education. These are socialist programs. It's not, you know, I'm a Democrat, socialist Democrat. So, yeah.
You are? Socialist.
Yeah.
First time I hear that from you.
Yeah.
Is that a change?
I mean, I've always.
You'll be voting for Democrats, I'm guessing.
I've always voted for Democrats, my whole life. But, you know, I've always had socialist leaning.
Famed actor John Leguizamo has recently come out supporting DSA, meaning...
Listen, the Democratic Party is showing the early signs of the same disease that destroyed the Republican Party. The left and Democrats can't make the same mistake. There is a small group of far-left extremists gaining influence inside youth groups and party organizations because they spend all day online organizing and enforcing ideological purity and attacking anyone who disagrees.
Prominent liberal commentators like David Pakman.
Some creators in the first 48 hours took the Wired story and expanded it with even more outrageous claims, suggesting that it's AIPAC or IPAC, I don't even know how it's pronounced, IPAC, that is funding this show or other creators. Of course, not true. That the DNC is involved, not true.
Who claim to not know how to pronounce AIPAC go against DSA.
I've always felt like it was important that everybody have access to the same things. I felt like education shouldn't be a privilege, it's a right. Medicine is not a privilege, it's a right.
So now you're openly a socialist.
Yeah, I'm a democratic socialist.
Seems pretty simple, and yet...
I saw their new platform. Promises a country where you have no debt, you pay no rent, no mortgage, you receive publicly funded housing, publicly funded retirement, food, education, energy, medicine, transportation. And it sounds incredible because it is incredible. How would they create it? Government ownership of the largest corporations and of entire industries, universal rent control, abolishing police and prisons, and abolishing the Senate and replacing our political system. But you bundle it together, and this fantasy in which capitalism, private industry, and major parts of the government simply disappear, most Americans don't want that. Most Americans understand that there is no way that you could impose that without extraordinary authoritarianism.
Well, that is just absolutely insane.
He said the left is really bad because they're locking in. They have an agenda. They seek to accomplish that agenda, and they're pushing for it. And now, perhaps most terrifyingly, they're winning.
You receive publicly funded housing, publicly funded retirement.
Why won't anybody think about the landlords? Why won't anybody think about the big corporations that are buying out all the readily available housing? But if you just cut it down to be like, dude, what? Like public housing? Gross. then that just comes across like you are just in opposition to a thing that exists in those same Nordic-style social democracies that you just started off defending.
How would they create it? Government ownership of the largest corporations and of entire industries. Universal...
Again! Literally exists in social democracies. Norway owns the entirety of the extraction industry. It is completely nationalized down to the bone. It's not like Norway is Maoist. My man started off by saying, I love social democracy. I'm a social democrat. And then literally looked at the DSA social democracy line and went agenda item by agenda item and said, I hate all this.
Hassan saw what Pakman was selling and called it out, as did...
Look at the way he talks about Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar's nonsense tweets. GOP ousts Ilhan Omar from Foreign Affairs Committee. Will you downvote this reasonable conversation, David, about Ilhan Omar and anti-Semitism? Iffy tweets by Omar and Tlaib. Progressive admits to self-censorship. David Pakman admits to self-censorship. What are you censoring yourself about, David? There's a reason why he gets promoted. So you notice how he has millions of more subscribers than Hassan Piker. Does anybody believe that David Pakman is more influential in American politics than Hassan Piker? Does anyone think that? Why do you think he has so many subscribers? He's promoted by Israel. It's not even a conspiracy theory. His brother is like on the ADL. He's on the like YouTube trusted safety team. Did you know that? And he was formerly an employee at the ADL. And at the same time, he promotes Destiny.
Twitch streamer and organizer Mike from PA.
Right now on the progressive movement. And the reason I want to talk to you about this is I see you really, when people ask me, who do you see right now as the sort of progressive that you like to be at the head of this movement going forward? I think of you, and there's a bunch of different reasons why. And unfortunately, there is right now a bit of a division, as I see it, on the left on a number of issues that includes foreign policy.
And they have a lot to work with here. Many critics rebuked him, vocally supported Israel in 2021 and 2023, threatened to sue Taylor Lorenz and Wired for exposing Brian Tyler Cohen, funding his YouTuber channel, and now going after Hassan Mao Piker for supporting socialism. LOL, how does he still have an audience? The answer is, of course, yes, he has an audience. He has a massive audience. I think what you're seeing is the differences on the left. Imposter Edits, who has posted a lot of really good stuff, wrote underneath the clip, the centrist shills are terrified of letting the people decide who they want to represent them. They are scared of the average person wanting too much from their politicians and taxes. Here is where a lot of people, mainly those who don't pay attention to this stuff and or they are on the right, and they think that everyone on the left is a lib. But then they also confuse libs with socialists. And then they confuse the socialists with Marxists. And then they confuse the Marxists with communists. So they just like basically lump every person on the left as the same thing and try to fearmonger as much as possible. Okay. Now, I object to that. I have objected to that in the comments of other videos as well, because there have been many people saying that I'm a dumb lib. I do not identify as a lib. My politics have evolved. But what really just crushes my spirit is seeing this division and seeing how these centrist libs don't want any form of a revolution for the working class. That's how I view it. Yes, I am in favor of the things that David Pakman said that he despises. I just am. I think there is a better world for all of us. These policies that he despises, as Haas even stated, are in different countries that actually take care of its people. More so than what we do here. We don't do much. And the things that we are asking for, where they'll view a Bernie Sanders or an Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as very far left, as a communist, they are not those things. They are not. In the grand scheme of world politics, they are towards the center. Which goes to show you the barometer of our politics in the United States of America and just how messed up it is that we ask for things that feel not even bare minimum, but a given in other countries. Even if they have someone like a Maloney, right? Even if they have someone like a Boris Johnson in charge, they still do it. Yeah, some of their policies are atrocious. Atrocious. Even north of the border, where Trump has made an enemy out of our strongest ally, and south of the border, healthcare costs are insanely low. I want that. Who would not want that? Sorry, I don't want us to be ripped off. Especially when you look at the price of an inhaler, for example. It should be free. It's hundreds of dollars. Hundreds. I mean, luckily my kids wasn't hundreds, but it wasn't cheap. It's insane. She's a toddler. But that is where our country is. That is where it is. Companies ripping us off. I mean, like, ironically enough, the things that Pakman is against would run counter to where we are right now. For example, with the PayPal mafia, Peter Thiel, David Sachs, Elon Musk becoming a trillionaire. Sorry, not with it. We'll never be with it. That is bad policy that led to it. We should not allow the capitalists to rule over us and be our overlords. What we should have is a tax so they don't have that much power to build data centers, to buy off politicians, for flock to surveil us. Not with it. But I suppose for Pakman and others, they are. They are. And it's a shame, man. Truly.